Okay, hands please for your name.
Jason Roberts.
All right, you may inquire.
Thank you. Sergeant, where do you work?
Northfield Township Police Department.
What's your position there?
Detective Sergeant.
How long have you been with Northfield Township?
I'm like 27 here
How long have you been a sergeant?
since 2018.
Same period of time being a detective as well?
I was a detective from 2012 to 2017 probably, and then got promoted back to the road, and then went from the road to detective sergeant position.
Sergeant, you've been here in court throughout the proceedings here this afternoon, correct?
Yes.
You are who we commonly refer to as the officer in charge of this case. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. What is the first thing that you did as a part of your investigation?
When I got to the scene, the first thing I started bringing a search warrant, I believe, for Lexington address.
For Noller Bend or for the Lexington?
I'm sorry. Well, for both. I did do Dollar Bend probably first, and then I did the Lexington address. I did search warrant for both of them.
Okay. Did you at any point go to the Noller Bend home?
Yes.
Did you go inside?
I went inside after MSP was done processing private just.
Okay. Explain to the court what that means about MSP coming to process for evidence.
So because of the type of crime scene it was, we didn't have the personnel or the experienced personnel to process that type of scene, that large of scene. So we requested MSP's crime scene unit to come and process the scene for us.
So they did that exclusively?
Yes. At the Dollar Bend residence.
Those photos, jewelry, credit cards, they're just exhibits to the court. But to him, they're the shattered pieces of his life.
We've heard some testimony about some weapons that came up when deputies interacted with the defendant.
Yes.
Did you come into contact with those weapons?
The firearm was in the Sheriff's Department. Later that evening, and I secured our property.
What about the shotgun that we've heard reference to?
So on January 2nd, I executed a search warrant on that Honda HRV, also to the Sheriff's Department in their evidence garage, and I located that shotgun in the rear hatchback area of that HRV.
What did you do with it after you found it?
Both guns were secured into evidence identity for processing.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. Sergeant, we'll start with people's proposed exhibits 8 and 9. Those are pictures, right? What are the pictures of?
Exhibit 8 is a picture of the shotgun as it lay in the bed of the vehicle.
And
9 is a different angle of the same shotgun.
did you take those pictures?
I did.
And are they fair and accurate representations of where that shotgun was as you saw it when you were processing that car?
Yes.
And now I'll hand you people's proposed exhibit 10. What is that?
It is a picture of a 9mm handgun.
Is that also a picture that you took?
Yes, it is.
What gun are we looking at?
This is the firearm that was taken around and so turned over.
And is that as well a fair and accurate representation of that gun as you saw it here at the DVA? Thank you. Your Honor, this time I move for the additional proposed 8, 9, and 10.
Any objection or voir dire?
No, Your Honor.
Exhibits 8, 9, and 10 are admitted.
Mayor.
You may.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Sergeant, you said you did what with them when you're done processing that car and you've got those weapons
They were securing our police department, and then the next day, they went to dump over to MSP, right, to their firearms investigation.
What's the purpose in taking them there?
Fingerprints, DNA, and I've been testing for the handgun to match any possible shell casings found at the scene.
And there were casings found at the scene, correct?
There were.
When MSP comes to process a scene, as you requested them to do here, do they author a report pertaining to that?
They do.
Does it describe the things that they did there, the things that they saw, and the things that they take into evidence?
It does.
And as the OIC, in this case, you are in possession of all the lab reports that have been authored as a result of their work in this case, correct?
Yes.
And have you reviewed those?
I have.
Okay. Before I hand those to you, let me also ask you this. When Mr. Bernhard was here testifying, he identified some pictures of some credit cards and then also some jewelry. Do you recall that?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about those credit cards and jewelry and how they became a part of the evidence in this case?
Those specific cards and that jewelry was also turned over to me at the DV unit here at the Sheriff's Department. There were items removed from the two co-defendants in this case, Galvan and Finland.
We've heard testimony about Olivia being in the car in question with the two males. Did you hear that? We did not hear about True being in that car, correct?
Correct.
Was True found as a part of this investigation?
True was located at the Lexington address.
And we've also heard testimony that that Lexington Parkway address is somehow connected to the defendant, correct?
Correct. That is her mother's residence.
Her mother's residence. Thank you. What about the dog?
Dog was located in the car with Olivia.
And that's Snickers that we've heard about?
Yes.
Okay. Snickers is back home as well?
Yeah.
This is the first violent act. The moment the nightmare truly begins. The audience can feel every heartbeat, every blow.
Oh, checks and or checkbooks. Did those play a role in this investigation at all?
So Mr. Jeffrey's father-in-law had a checkbook ledger with his name, and I believe his church's name on it, that I recovered on the floorboard in the backseat of that vehicle when I did the executive search warrant here at the Sheriff's Department on that Honda HRV.
So you're saying that was a checkbook of Stevie Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge. And may I approach again, Your
You
Honor?
may.
Thank you. If I'm tracking my numbers correctly, sir, I believe we're on 11 and 12, and that's what I'm handing you right now, are people's proposed exhibits 11 and 12. What are those?
They are forensic reports from the Department of State Police.
They have your name on them, correct?
They do.
Okay. Do they have your incident number for this case as well?
They both do.
Okay, so they are lab reports that were generated pertaining to work done by the lab on this investigation.
Correct.
And they are record number 1 is People's Proposed 11, correct?
I'm sorry. Yes, record number 1 through because of 11.
Okay, and record number 3 for Proposed Exhibit 12, correct?
Correct.
Okay. As we've discussed, record number, strike that. Your Honor, at this time, I move for the admission of People's Proposed 11 and 12 pursuant to statute as lab reports at present.
No objection. 11 and 12 are admitted.
Thank you. As to 11, this is the crime scene report for going and processing the scene, as we talked about, correct?
Correct.
And it references in there, among other things, casings that were found and recovered and seized as evidence as part of processing that scene, correct?
Correct. They refer to them as fired cartridge case.
Thank you. I always get the gun when you go along. Now moving to People's 12. Are those fired cartridge, did you say cases? Yes. Are they also referenced in record 3?
They are.
As well as the firearm that we saw in the picture, the pistol that you took to the lab that was removed from the defendant, or I believe it was your left armpit, correct?
Correct.
And were those items compared to one another?
They were.
And is there a conclusion or a comparison to be drawn between all of the casings at the scene and the gun that was taken off of defendant's person?
They were identified as being fired.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you also come into contact with the defendant as a part of your investigation?
I did. I met her, I think it was in the county jail.
Was she in custody of that?
She was.
Did you interact with her?
I did myself and a detective sergeant from the state police interviewed her together.
Why did you have somebody from the state police with you to do that interview?
There was, at that time, we had so many suspects and so much scene that one person couldn't possibly do it all. So we kind of divided the time groups when what. I chose a female sergeant to interact with me with one female suspect.
Did you or the officer that was assisting you advise the defendant of anything prior to talking to her?
The female sergeant, I believe her name was Kate, to look it up her name. She did Mirandize Ms. Vincent prior to speaking with her.
And were they the Miranda rights that you are familiar with?
Yes.
Okay. And did the defendant appear to understand those rights?
She did. She waived her rights and said she was speaking with us.
How long did you guys talk to her?
45 minutes to an hour.
Long time.
Yes.
Without going through all of it, let me ask you just several pointed questions. We've heard some questions asked and some information put on this record about child abuse allegations and sexual assault allegations from the defendant to the Bernhards, correct?
Correct.
During that interview with her, did she say anything about any of that stuff?
The only assault she ever mentioned during our interview was that she witnessed someone push her daughter at one point during a virtual visitation.
So that's all she complained about to you.
That they would not let her daughter say the word holy. Yes.
Holy.
Correct.
You didn't cut her off or keep her from talking to you about anything, did you?
No.
As we've indicated, you're the OIC of this case. Are you familiar with really basically all of the reports, the documentation, all of the investigation that's gone into this?
Yes.
Have you come across any evidence to support the allegations that the Bernhardts physically or sexually abused True?
No, I have not.
Have you come across any evidence to support that those were allegations that even existed before she murdered 2 people in that home that night and tried to murder a third?
No, we did not discover anything prior to January 1st.
He was shot in the chest and survived. At this point, he's not just a witness, he's living proof of a miracle.
Again, condensing a long, lengthy interview down to just a little bit. But let me ask you, did anybody ask her, did you do this?
We did.
And what did she say?
She said that she shot them. She said whoever was in the house, she shot them.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Cross-examination.
First Sergeant, you did participate in this interview, correct?
Yes.
And interviews have certain tactics, correct?
So,
Okay. And you're trained on interview tactics.
yes.
Okay. Would you agree with me that the tactic you use in interviewing Ms. Vincent was to simply ask her, a broad question and allow her to just talk, get her to speak freely.
She did speak with the counsel.
Okay. But that's what you wanted her to do, correct?
It hurt the counsel.
Okay. Do you know how many times during the course of that 45-minute interview, Ms. Vincent said to you, they hurt my kids, you don't fuck with people's kids?
I couldn't tell you how many times she did reference the counsel.
She referenced it more than once, correct? Would it be more than 5 times?
I don't recall how many times.
Did you ever ask her, what do you mean they were hurting your children?
I don't know specifically the answer to that question.
Okay. You are the officer in charge of this case, correct?
Correct.
There was multiple suspects being interviewed, correct?
Correct.
You were communicating with the other detectives doing the interview to try and make sure you guys were getting similar information.
I don't believe during the interview.
After the interview.
Yes.
And you looked at the reports of those interviews. Okay. There were other suspects that said Miss Vincent complained that they were abusing and molesting her children.
Okay. Is there a question on that?
Yes, that's the question. That is true, correct?
I don't believe so. I have to look at those reports.
Okay. We're looking at first, before today's date, did you look at the report of Detective Russo's interview of Defendant Callahan?
Not recently.
Okay, would you?
I'm sorry, you mean Sergeant Vassos?
Yes.
I've seen it, yes, but not recently.
Okay. In that report, was that discussed with that suspect?
I'd have to look at the report to change that question.
All right, young man, approach the witness.
You may, if that will refresh your recollection as to whether or not it's there.
If Ms. Vincent had filed any CPS reports or made any complaints to the CPS worker of this sort of abuse being done to her daughter.
We have spoken with Samaritas and CPS, yes.
Okay. Did you get any reports from those entities, either one of those entities?
I'd say hundreds.
Okay. No further questions, yeah.
Any redirect?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Detective Sergeant. You may step now.
Your Honor, people have no further presentation.
All right. Witnesses for the defense.
Done, Your Honor.
All right. Are you ready to go into argument at this point? Did you need some time?
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready, Judge.
Go ahead.
Prior to argument, I wonder if I could make an official motion at this time to add count 11 to file number 25F3-0011. That is count 11 of armed robbery. NCL 750.529. Judge, I would like, if the court is amenable, to have it read identical to the co-defendants, which is did in the course of committing a larceny of money and or jewelry and or credit cards and or checks and or checkbook and or a dog, use force or violence against a person present and or assault or put in fear a person present, Jeffrey Bernhard, and in the course of that conduct possessed a gun, a dangerous weapon, contrary to statute.
All right. Very good. Any response to that at this point? Your adding of that count. I don't think she needs a formal motion, actually. But
Right. If the court wants me to address up, I guess it'd be more efficient if I did everything at once.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted to.
Perfect.
I do need a pack code on what you're requesting being added.
750.529.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And then one other minimal amendment, if I could, that is on file number 25FB-1002. Count 1 is carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent. And currently it reads did with the intent to use the same unlawfully against a person of another, go armed with a firearm, to wit, a shotgun. I would like that to read, to wit, a handgun.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, following those amendments, I would simply indicate to the court that by a burden of probable cause at a minimum, that there is sufficient evidence on the record here before Your Honor that all of those crimes as charged have been committed, and further, there's probable cause that your defendant committed those crimes.
Please, Siobhan, don't do anything you'll regret. His wife's last words. Seconds later, a gunshot. It's the kind of moment that freezes time.
Judge, I get the argument about home invasion. I'm not going to belabor the court. The AWIM and the homicides, as if the eyewitness firsthand victim account isn't enough. Your Honor has Peoples 11 and 12 in front of Your Honor. That indicates that the gun that was found in the defendant's armpit is the gun that fired all of the shots in that home that night, matches the casings. So you've sewn up all of the shooting committed by the defendant herself. She took the kids. You heard the testimony. She had no permission and authority to take the kids. I think if there's a quibble in the charges on that case, it is the home invasion. Whether or not somebody allowed her access to that home that night, be it one of the children or Jennifer, as they were the ones that were standing by the door. But Judge, any argument about them being there with permission just fails, and fails utterly, in light of what Mr. Bernhard heard and was so eloquently able to articulate, which is he heard thuds and bangs, then immediately he heard screams and screams of fear from his wife that he will literally never forget. Add to that some damage to the door, and I think circumstantially you have more than enough to find that they entered without permission, and then the rest of the count flows from there and is satisfied by Mr. Bernhard's testimony. Judge, we simply ask that you bind the defendant over on all of the charges as originally indicated in the charging documents, and then also with the several amendments that I requested. Thank you.
Yes. Response.
Just briefly, as to home invasion, I think the record is clear. The witness presented by the people was not in the room when entry was made into the home. The court is asking, the government is asking the court to take what this witness's speculation as to what noises mean and accept that witness's interpretation, what those noises mean, as to whether or not they got into the house with permission or not. We don't know, and the witness could not testify. Did those thuds and all that banging around, did that happen after they were allowed into the home and they were taking people or asserting their control over people or not? So based on this record, I asked the court to not bind over on home invasion first degree. Also, and I'm not with count 8, conspiracy to commit home invasion, I'd ask that it be dismissed as well for the same argument. And first, there's a difference in aiding and abetting and conspiracy. And the conspiracy, requires that government prove, and at this stage, prove up upon the evidence that they unlawfully conspired, combined, or confederate or agreed together to commit these offenses. And there's no testimony on this record as to a conspiracy, even if the court believes that there's testimony record to support an aiding and abetting theory. There's no testimony record to support conspiracy. As to counts 5 and 6, kidnapping and child enticement, at this point, I'm gonna be honest, with the court, we want to object, just for the record. There's some issues that I think are present in terms of, did the government prove that they took the children with intent to detain or conceal, the child from, its lawful parents or guardians? If the record, and the record is clear that there was at least a belief by Ms. Vincent that the child was in danger. And so we'd ask the court to not bind those over. And I think whether or not the belief or the court believe that the belief is reasonable or not, that may go to the murder counts. But as for the child enticement, and based on the fact that at least True was taken to the grandmother's house, based on the testimony, the True was not in the car. We don't know what the intent was of my client in terms of who she was trying to keep True away from, if anybody. And I think the argument would go the same as to Olivia. Now, as to
okay, I just want to make sure I'm clear. You're saying that with reference to basically counts 5 and 6.
Yep, it's not just that I take the child. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, go ahead. What were going to say?
It's not just that I take the child. I have to take the child with the intent of hiding the child from its lawful parents or guardians, and not even addressing the fact that clearly at this point it's the government's position that the parents, or the foster parents at least, are dead, right? So what do you but still, even if the court finds that the killing, based on the record, was to facilitate the child enticement, if the court made that reach, I mean, whether or not you hide something from a dead person, I mean, I guess that's something we're going to have to argue about. But still, the intent in terms of taking the children, especially based on the fact that the evidence shows that at least True was taken to another location, I guess we don't know. I don't think that the government has proven what the intent was when Ms. Vincent allegedly took her child.
So
True.
I guess my question is, and I understand your argument, may not agree with your argument, but I understand your argument. You're saying that the argument would also apply to Olivia?
Well, at this point, Your Honor, there's no testimony as to who took Olivia out of that house. There's no testimony as to whether or not Ms. Vincent ordered that Olivia be taken out of that house. And there's no testimony as to what anybody's going to do with Olivia. So I just think that the record is, we're all operating under the assumption that Olivia was taken by Ms. Vincent, and we're operating under the assumption that Ms. Vincent ordered that. But there's no testimony to that on the record.
Okay.
And as to the other cases,
When he says, God, help me, that's not just a prayer. It's a plea between life and death. Pure chilling humanity.
the RNOs, Your Honor, I'd ask that those counts be dismissed, Your Honor. And the issue becomes, was there, at the moment that there was police interaction with Ms. Vincent, was there probable cause to arrest? And based on the answers from the officer, I believe that answer at that moment was no. So at the time in which she is fighting or resisting or not obeying those commands, do not believe that there was probable cause to arrest her. And when you are trying to put somebody in handcuffs, that level of seizure is an arrest. And even if the police developed that probable cause at some later date and time, or some later time that day, they didn't have it at that moment, Your Honor, then we'd ask court. We don't believe they had it at that moment. We ask court to dismiss those charges.
Your additional response from the people?
I'm almost not even sure how to respond to the kidnapping argument, because what you have in front of you is 3 individuals armed with weapons coming into a home without permission, unannounced, and without lawful authority, killing 2 people there, trying to kill a third, and taking the kids with them that do not belong to them. If that's not kidnapping, I don't know what kidnapping is. Judge, as it pertains to the R&Os, they're certainly nowhere near the most important charges on the charging documents. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. There's a concert of action that happens when investigations like this unfold. Deputy Bechtel knew exactly where to go, and that's because he had information from other law enforcement officers about an address that was right close by that was connected to the defendant. So he sat up there and he watched this car do all of this evasive maneuvering, and then an individual gets out that his suspicion is now already raised about her involvement for multiple reasons, to include that she's there at that address in the first place, and matches whatever minimal description he has about a shooting, about a super violent double homicide, could have almost been a triple homicide. He has every right, nay, every responsibility to approach her and to protect the public and detain her until he figures out what's going on. And she resisted, pulled away, didn't respond and comply with orders on down the line in every way that she could resist. Are they the most important charges? No, they're not. But have they been satisfied by a standard of probable cause? Absolutely. And again, as for the kidnapping, Judge, I'm not sure how kidnapping gets more clear. You don't get to snatch people's kids, whether the people you're taking them from are alive or dead. Thank you.
All right, court's I want to take a look at a little bit more closely some of the defendant's arguments, particularly regarding the home invasion and the kidnap. So court's going to take about a 10-minute recess off the back. Keep in mind,
All right.